Two.
Hey everybody, Sam Kavaris in the Nimnicht Chevrolet Sports Update. So let's see, JU and UNF played on Friday night and Valentine's night, so there weren't a lot of people at the arena. But it was a very good basketball game. JU jumped out to a lead, UNF had the lead at the half. JU came back and took a lead. In fact, they had like a 6-point lead with 4 minutes to play, but couldn't hold it. The bad part about it is, for JU fans and for Cliff Warren, is that the way that they lost, they got out-hustled for rebounds. They missed a couple of free throws. They started just taking threes instead of finding the good shot. And they looked like a team without a lot of confidence at the end. Where on the other end of the court, you saw UNF play with confidence, figure out how to hit the zone, and they had Bo Beach shooting at 21. They were 10 of 25 from beyond the arc, and that put UNF in a position that to win the game, 79-74. So they win the game, and they solidify their spot in the ASUN tournament, while JU was precariously hanging on to that 8th spot, which means that they may or may not make the tournament. And to tell you the truth, there's just a lot of rumblings that Cliff Warren could be in trouble with that job there. I don't exactly know who they could go out and get to do a better job, because Cliff is a very good person and a very good basketball coach in a very hard situation when you're using Swisher Gym to try to recruit against so many other nice new suitable facilities, 5,000, 4,000 seat facilities. It's very difficult to bring in the kind of quality athlete that you're looking for, but we'll see what happens. The Gators, meanwhile, play Kentucky Saturday night. One streak's got to end. Florida has won all these games in a row, and Kentucky's won all these games at home in a row, so it'll be interesting to see how it goes. The most fascinating stat that I read was that Kentucky gets 98% of their points from their freshmen. Florida gets 57% of their points from their seniors. So it's really a clash of a very young, talented team in Kentucky and a very senior-laden, experienced, patient team, very good defensive team in Florida. Both of these teams are the class of the conference, obviously both going to the tournament. It's Florida and Kentucky, or Kentucky and Florida, and then it's everybody else. I read a stat the other day that it shows you what the rest of the conference means. When the third place team in the conference, which is Ole Miss, is not in the top 25. Think about that when you got Kentucky and Florida up there, and then Ole Miss third, and they're not even ranked in the top 25. NASCAR practice and, of course, qualifying the duels, what do they call that thing? The Sprint Unlimited. Something, the Sprint Unlimited, yeah. It used to be the Busch Clash one. That's what it still should be called, but because that's the coolest name. But the Sprint Unlimited is now on Saturday night. And then Sunday, the top 2 spots for the 500 are at stake. And then the Budweiser duels next Thursday. A lot of changes in NASCAR. Media day this week. Just really saw a lot of things. Saw that cars were really fast, running in packs. Not giant packs, and not just 2 or 3, but like 5 or 6 cars. And they're running close to 200 miles an hour by themselves. So despite the restrictor plates and trying to keep them slow, these guys are figuring out how to go fast. There's no question about that. Johnny Manziel said that Houston would make the biggest mistake ever if they didn't pick him, and then if he ended up playing for the Jaguars, they would turn that Frito on his shoulder to a Dorito in terms of a chip on his shoulder, and he would do what he could to beat them all the time. I don't know if Houston's going to take him, but I tell you who's not taking him, the Jaguars. He's not a Jaguar kind of quarterback or kind of guy, and if he goes on to be Brett Favre, then they'll just whiff on him. But I think they're going to take somebody to pressure the passer there, and they'll go for a quarterback somewhere later, 2nd or 3rd round, and end up filling some of the needs that they want. They like McCarron, they like Mettenberger. I think that's where they'll go. In fact, if they take Johnny Manziel up there, it'll be the most surprising thing that they've done in 20 years, no matter who's running the show over there. And the Michael Sam story had legs for 5 or 6 days, but now is dying down. It'll certainly be interesting. There's still 2 sides to the story. Some general managers saying that he'll be a distraction, not because he's gay, but because of the amount of media attention. Others are saying they don't care. Can he help us win? I can tell you what, in the locker room, nobody cares. All right? Nobody in the locker room cares. Can the guy play? Then let's put him on the field, and that's all they're worried about. Combine this week. Manziel, by the way, won't throw until his pro day, which comes up at the end of March. I'm Sam Kavaris, and that's the Nimnicht Chevrolet Sports Update.